Good morning. Welcome to First Unitarian Church of Orlando. My name is Wesley Boyce, and I'm serving on your worship team here at 1U. With me in today's service are our worship leader, Linnea Nelson, music director, Aubrey Connolly Condelario, the Chalice Choir, drummer Jacob Hike, and board members Margaret McLaren and Ted Nelson, and Chalice lighter Franklin. And let's not forget our teams of wonderful people in the background working diligently to ensure that we come together this morning, so thank you. We greet you this morning, old friends and new, as we explore our Unitarian Universalist faith, which draws us into a community of justice seekers with a lifelong commitment to spiritual growth and compassionate service to the community. Whether today is your first or your 1000th Sunday in our midst, you are welcome here. Whoever you are, whoever you love, your whole self is welcome here. We welcome your race, your national origin, immigration status, gender identity, sexual orientation, age, physical or mental abilities, economic status, or religious background. We welcome you. We have a few special announcements for you today. Join us next Sunday as Reverend Dr. Tracy Barrett returns to the pulpit to share lessons from youth camp. And get ready for an evening of laughter, creativity, and community spirit at Welcome to the Skit Show. Sign-ups are currently open for anyone who would like to participate, so whether you have a corny, charismatic character, a silly song and dance, or a melodramatic monologue, we invite you to share it with your fellow congregants. We know that 1U is full of talent, and this is a wonderful opportunity to showcase it. Join us on Saturday, April 4th for a fun and lively evening where members and friends of our community take the stage to entertain one another. This special event will also serve as a fundraiser for the church, helping support the many programs and ministries that make our community thrive. So start gathering your ideas, recruit a few friends if you'd like. I've gotten a few people come to me say that they've already gotten a couple of friends together for a few acts, so keep it up. We look forward to a joyful evening of talent, laughter, and fellowship, and can't wait to see what you bring to the stage. For more information about our congregation and announcements, go to orlandouu.org or email info@orlandouu.org. All other announcements are posted on slides before and after the service and can be found with links in the weekly update or on our website. If you would like to follow along with today's service, please use the QR code shown on the monitor to view the order of service. Thanks again for being here in person and online today. Now it's time for our chalice lighting, so I'm going to ask Franklin to go ahead and come up here. Franklin is 7 years old. He's in first grade at Blankner K-8 school. He likes dinosaurs, and what's your favorite dinosaur, Franklin? T-Rex. Okay? So, please say these words as we light the chalice. In the light of truth and in the warmth of love, we gather to seek, to sustain, and to share. Great job, Franklin. Please rise and body your spirit and join me in singing our opening hymn, number 95, There Is More Love Somewhere.
There is more love. Today, we gather to find hope, to find spiritual grounding, to find inner peace in these tumultuous times. Our call to worship is a poem by David White called Start Close In. Start close in. Don't take the second step or the third. Start with the first thing close in. The step you maybe don't want to take. Start with the ground you know, the pale ground beneath your feet, your own way to begin the conversation. Start with your own question. Give up on other people's questions. Don't let them smother something simple. To hear another's voice, follow your own voice first. Wait until that voice becomes an intimate, private ear that can really listen to another. Start right now. Take a small step you can call your own. Don't follow someone else's heroics. Be humble and focused and start close in. Don't mistake that other for your own. Start close in. Don't take the second step or the third. Start with the first thing, close in, the step you don't want to take. And now let us greet one another. If you're joining us online for the first time, please say so in the comments. If you're joining us for the first or even the third time in worship today, please stand if you're willing so we may offer you a warm welcome. Now let's all get up and greet one another.
The new people in the room. I'm the director of Lifespan Religious Enrichment here. Linnea, who is your service leader this morning, is doing the time for all ages. Do you want all the kids up here? Linnea has a background as a DRE, and so she kind of knows what she's doing.
No pressure. Actually, it's such a gift that you've given me this time, Judith, because it's the most fun thing to do, is to read the story. So today we're going to read a story called I Hope by Monique Gray Smith and illustrated by Gabrielle Brumand. And your presence is known. Since we're reading about hope today, if you'd like, anyone can put your hand on your heart because hope lives there. I hope that you and those you love know joy. I hope that you are kind. I hope that you have belly laughs. Everybody a belly laugh, please. Ooh, that's a good one. I hope you love to learn. I hope that when sad tears leave your eyes, someone is there to catch them. I hope you are helpful. I hope you know beautiful happiness. I hope you play outside. Good. I hope you are a caretaker of Mother Earth. I hope that when you need a hug, there are loving arms to hold you. I hope that you and those you love have healthy food, clean water, and a safe place to sleep. I hope you are courageous. And these signs say, every child matters, we are equal, every child matters. Amen. I hope you remember to smile, that beautiful smile of yours. Can you turn around and show everybody your smile? Oh, beautiful. I hope you are respectful. I hope you always remember that you are special and you matter. I have lots of hopes for you and for me, but I wonder, what are your hopes? Think about what you hope for. Anybody?
I hope that people didn't build like more and more buildings, because it's just, I hope that people didn't build more and more buildings because it starts ruining the earth.
Thank you. You're caring for Mother Earth. Anybody else have a hope?
I hope that some trees can like stay up instead of being cut, so we have more like air and like we can live like a little longer.
Yes. There are a lot of earth caretakers here. Thank you for all of you who've been teaching them. Anybody else have a hope? What's your hope, Judith?
Oh, my hope is for more peace in this world.
Amen. Thank you. And now let's sing our children off to their activities with a loving arch for them to walk under.
Good morning. I'm Steph Garber, and I want to talk to you today. First, I want to tell you my favorite service of every year is our soapbox service. If you're not familiar with it, it's when each of us that wishes to gets up and just takes a couple minutes and talks about whatever we want. And it's always so much fun. Last year, I talked about things that I love about 1U. You might remember some of them, and I'm going to tell you a few more today. Can everybody hear me? Yes. Great. The reason everybody can hear me is because 1U installed the loop system, which allows those of us with hearing aids to have the sermon, and anyone who's speaking at the pulpit, the service goes directly into our hearing aids, and it is such a gift. I just love it. It's the advanced technology and equipment that allows us to have these things. And it also allows our service to be streamed, which means I can occasionally watch in my PJs. I notice nobody's fanning themselves, and that's because 1U gives us this wonderful air conditioning to enjoy our time here in Gore Hall and our other locations throughout the campus. We also have heat for those few days when we actually need heat in Central Florida. That's not too often. Yes. And what if somebody is having a serious heart issue here at 1U? It could be you, it could be someone you love, and it could be somebody you've never met before. But a serious heart issue can be helped by an AED machine, which we have several around the campus, including one right here that you walked by when you first entered this building. But if you don't know where the others are, just ask someone. You should know where they are, because we want to be able to help if something like that should occur, and we can actually save a life in an instance like that. RE now has 50 plus regular members installed in their religious enrichment program. I think that's so cool. And I love that our church administrator, Amy, knows everything. No matter what I ask her, she knows the answer. Now, sometimes the answers are, well, you need to go to Dan Homlin on that, or you need to go to Kathy Homlin on that. But she is just terrific, and don't hesitate to go to her if you also have questions that maybe another member was not able to help you with. So I don't know if you're aware, but 1U has 3 full-time and 5 part-time staff members. These are people who help us achieve our goal so that we can live out our UU values among those that we love here in our community. Because of this, we can work with nonprofit organizations and make a true difference. These nonprofit organizations might be iDignity, Zebra Youth, One Heart for Women and Children, and the new Image Youth Center, or any one of the other Share the Plate nonprofits that we're exposed to. Oh, and oh my God, I just love Fellowship Hour. I have met so many of you there. I have had an opportunity to meet new members. I've had opportunities to grow with those members I've met before, and I just love it, and I love the treats. And I thank Kathy, and I thank Colleen and Ray and all the other people that helped that make a reality for us. So my fellow congregants, I don't need to tell you that technology and utilities, employee health insurance, groundskeeping, AED machines, staff administrative assistants, coffee, and gluten-free cookies all add up. 63% of 1U's operating revenue comes from congregate pledges. The balance comes from a combination of endowment pledges, the annual auction, rental income, and other sources. So if you would, just close your eyes for a moment. I want you to think what's important to you about 1U. And I hope, as I ask you humbly, to give as generously as you are able, so that together we continue the good work we do here. Thank you. Sorry, I'll just take it off. We'll just take it off. Okay. Sorry. So easy for me, Steph. Okay, except that I moved this with my hand accidentally. Oh, that's okay. So you might have to move down. Yes.
Thank you so much. Well, you have been very generous, and I just wanted to give you a quick update on where we are so far and try to get Margaret ready. So far we have received 44 pledge cards, which is less than 25%, but I know you guys are going to get it in. You're really thinking about how generous you can be, and I appreciate that. So far, the amount we have pledged is $210,666, which is very good and very generous. People who have continued their pledge have increased their pledges on the average of 9.6%. We are a generous bunch, and the Stewardship Committee and all of us thank all you guys who have pledged so far, and please get your pledge cards in this month, or you can even most efficiently just go online and use the online link to do it online. Even if you are keeping your pledge the same next year, even if you're not changing it, please still renew your pledge and complete a card or complete the form online again, okay? Thanks a lot.
Good morning. I'm Margaret McLaren, and I'm a member of the Board of Trustees here at 1U. As we invite you into generosity, We are affirming that this time in our service is not simply an invitation for you to practice giving. It is a reminder that your giving is necessary for 1U to exist and thrive and continue to engage the good news of Unitarian Universalism. It affords us to be the change we wish to see in the world as we take action rather than waiting for others to do so. Today's full collection will go to the ministries of this congregation. Our Share the Plate recipient for the months of March and April is One Heart for Women and Children. Should you choose to make a direct donation to our partner, please let us know for recording purposes. The offering will now be collected. Note that you can also give online or use your phone to scan the QR code found in the pew back pocket to donate through Zephy. Please note that you can change the service fee at checkout to 0 in Zephy, which charges an automatic service fee if you don't zero it out.
May your life be as a song, resounding with the dawn, to sing awake the light and softly serenade the stars, ever dancing circles in the night. To sing awake the light and softly serenade the stars, ever dancing circles in the night, ever dancing circles in the night, ever dancing circles in the night.
Let us joyfully receive what is offered here today in the spirit of gratitude and fellowship.
Thank you, Aubrey. This is the time that we set aside for deep sharing of our hearts. If you have a sorrow or a joy that you wish to have shared during a worship service, please follow the directions on the screen or ask for a card at the welcome table before the service. Our cards that we've collected today are, first of all, a concern from Lisa Ruckman. I'm concerned because they are planning to build a petroleum plant 350 feet from our neighborhood. I think you need the kids to get involved. They can probably make a difference. And the beautiful flowers this morning are from Barbie Fallon in honor of spring and the hope that it brings with it. And Melissa shares her deep sorrow for the death of her friend Heather Samir Gupti last Sunday. She was extraordinary in life, and now she is one with the light of truth. And a special joy this morning is that we welcome these two 1U members to our community. They're new today, Marcia Mott and Brooke Zale. Welcome. You want to raise your hand? We're so glad to have you. Thanks to Greg and Kathy for hosting a wonderful Oscar brunch event yesterday. That's from Joy, and I'm sure all the other ones who attended. Thank you. And also, I guess that's all from 1U, but we also share in celebrating International Women's Day, which is today. International Women's Day falls within Women's History Month, and we honor the many ways in which women continue to lift up hope, nurturing, and fierceness so that all of us children may prosper. We hold our hurting world and this community with care and compassionate attention as we work to create a more just and loving world. And now Wesley will begin our candle lighting ritual by lighting a candle for all beloveds watching from home, perhaps in their pajamas, and for all of our collective heartfelt hopes and sorrows. And now you are invited to light a candle in prayer or hope. Thank you for being here today, and I'm honored to be here on International Women's Day. Now, I recently heard a story told by meditation leader and podcaster Tara Brach. It was of a busy parent who one afternoon was too exhausted to go to the grocery store, even though the refrigerator and the pantry had no offerings. But eureka, in the freezer, an emergency frozen pizza. The parent proclaimed, "We're having frozen pizza for dinner." The kids groaned, with the youngest whining and asking for a regular dinner. And the parent immediately thought, when did these children become so entitled? Did they not know what an effort it took day after day to provide a home-cooked, healthy, ethical meal for them? So feeling irritated and knowing they were not living up to their own usual high standards of dinner prep, repeated, "We're having frozen pizza for dinner tonight. It's the best I can do." The 3-year-old kind of hiccuped and held back tears and said, "Could we at least warm it up?" But like this parent, we're often overwhelmed with the demands of this world and frustrated with our own limitations to do better. And like the child, we often only pay attention to one part of a situation. And in these sadly believable days, our attention is drawn over and over again to the very worst instances and outcomes of what is going on around us. And we must pay attention to injustice, no matter how overwhelming daily life seems to be. As Unitarian Universalists, we are called to be accountable to one another. As human beings, we are called to be accountable to one another. As Unitarian Universalists, we value people. We hold that all people have dignity and worth. As UUs, we center ourselves in love, even when evil seems to be prevailing in the world. Now, our UU comfort zone is to use our heads, to organize protests, write postcards, contact our legislators, and thank God for our intellectual side. But we also live into our UU values from the heart by caring for our neighbors and those around the world. We pay attention to justice through our actions, but they're prompted by both our minds and our hearts. And the heartfelt question I am posing today is, how will we be able to cope and continue to work for justice over the long haul, especially when our own agency does not seem to be making enough difference, when our own rights or the rights of those we love are being disregarded, or when we feel that we are doing the best that we can, even when it's not up to our own aspirational values of being a Unitarian Universalist. It's our hearts that hold the hope we need to garner the strength to act for justice. As we lean into the problems of the world, doing what we are each called to contribute, we must also live into hope in our hearts. Yet, like the 3-year-old child who only responded to the word frozen, we need to attend to our needs, our inner needs, so that we will have the spiritual strength to attend to the injustices of the world. I believe we need this inner strength, this heart work, to be able to hold on to hope and live into justice. Spiritually, hope is believing in our hearts that things can get better. And if we are hopeful, we can keep that spiritual flame burning within us. And only then will we be able to overcome overwhelm and fully commit to working toward the greater good for the long haul. This is serious. Without hope, we could stop trying. In our opening reading, Start Close In, the poet David White inspires us to build hope by just taking a first step. We may not know where we're going to end up, but if we strive to see hope and love and beauty within ourselves, our lens to the outer world will constantly seek the same love and beauty and especially now, hope. I believe we need inner peace to find the humility and grace to offer even small kindnesses to the people we love right here in our sanctuary, in our homes, and in our communities. I believe, along with the poets dating back to Rumi and Hafiz, we need to be grounded in hope and love in order to be our best selves. Hope is the foundation of our justice work. Starting with small kindnesses to our friends and neighbors and extending to actions of good for the greater community. Like right here in Orlando, taking on leadership roles in organizations like the League of Women Voters, 5051, or offering a community garden, a memorial resting place for loved ones and pets, or even ferrying people who arrived here from other countries safely to and from their schools and homes. And never underestimate the power of a small kindness. I believe the first step toward holding on to this heartfelt hope that leads to these good works is paying attention to our own inner peace. It may be paradoxical at times when we urgently want to change the world, and yet when we're invited to slow down and take time to tend to our spiritual lives, the inner work of the heart may actually propel our justice work to greater heights. Luckily, like simple kindnesses, spiritual work can come in very small packages. White reminds us that we must all start close in on this spiritual inner work. So please listen again as I read some of the same poem Ted read earlier. This type of intentional rereading is called Lectio Divina. And this time, let whatever emotion comes over you land in your heart. You may find it easier to listen with your eyes closed or a soft gaze, or you might even put your hand on your heart to focus inward. Get a little more comfortable in your seat and just let a feeling arise within you. Start close in. Don't take the second step or the third. Start with the first thing. Close in, the step you don't want to take. Start with the ground you know, the pale ground beneath your feet, your own way to begin the conversation. Start with your own question. Give up on other people's questions. Don't let them smother something simple. To hear another's voice, follow your own voice. Wait until that voice becomes an intimate, private ear that can really listen to another. I invite you to hold on to that feeling. Might it give you more confidence as justice seekers? Did you feel hope? And are you wondering how you can continue to take first steps to attend to your heart in these tumultuous times? Can taking a small step lead us to become kinder, more open, and more accepting, while we try to avoid the overwhelm of keeping up with the opposition to injustice and hate? These questions often lead us to attend to some pretty big wonderings. How do you see yourself in the universe? What is your relationship to the mystery? What is your purpose, your role as you go about your daily life? Not that we will attempt to answer any of these questions today, but as a spiritual director, I have the opportunity to discuss these questions with many people, most of whom are religious professionals, and they tell me that when they find a way to connect to their own inner spirit, a feeling of spiritual grounding becomes their antidote to overwhelm and frustration, and hope grows in its place. We take that first step close in, by moving from our heads to our hearts to draw us inward, where we might find more peace or even the divine as one way to build a foundation of hope that will combat frustration and despair. When we ground ourselves, this inner peace, this hope, can allow us to be kinder selves, our less judgmental selves, our more filled with grace selves. Because I know that when I'm unsettled inside, I'm not my kindest and most accepting self. Even if I try to detach or compartmentalize or act my way through a day when I'm frustrated and not grounded, a residue of fear or anger or disappointment often lingers in my bones and then just bursts out in some frustrated way. Maybe when this happens, we're a little rude or distant at the grocery checkout, or we avert our eyes from acquaintances or strangers, or the proverbial coming home and kicking the dog. If we stop and ask ourselves, how are we helping ourselves, our families, humanity, if we are not spiritually grounded and instead live into despair and frustration? When we pay attention with the heart, we can let our weary minds rest for a moment, which opens us to the otherwise elusive sense of being held by the universe. Maybe it's for you, it's the mystery, God, or simply by a collective love. And being part of this Unitarian Universalist community can also be a first step in exploring the mysteries of life, as well as our inner peace and hopefulness. Being here with you, it opens my heart to a deep knowing that we are all valued and cared for. Look around you. This community loves you. And knowing that can also bring you the hope you need to continue. And for me, taking steps toward having a spiritually grounded life allows me to be held in the universality of love. And although we can't make the stresses of life go away, especially since we are fighting fascism and war every day now, we can find small ways to bring our best selves to each problem, each relationship, each situation more often. We need to love ourselves enough to give back to this world, day in and day out. And when we are feeling that we are not enough in this moment, as a parent, a colleague, a sibling, a volunteer, a friend, we need heartfelt hope to continue to feel the love in the world that spurs us to work towards kindness and justice. I invite you now to return to that feeling that arose in you when you heard the poem Close In, as you watch and listen to the poet, David White, read it one more time. And this time, I invite you to listen for a word or a phrase that resonates with you, and try to hold that word in your heart.
Start close in. Don't take the second step or the third. Start with the first thing, close in, the step you don't want to take. Start with the ground you know, the pale ground beneath your feet, your own way to begin the conversation. Start with your own question. Start with your own troubled question. Give up on other people's questions. Don't let them smother something simple. To hear another's voice, follow your own voice. Wait until it becomes an intimate, private ear that can then really listen to another. Start right now. Take a small step you can call your own. Don't follow someone else's heroics. Be humble and focused. Start close in. Don't take the second step or the third. Start with the first thing, close in, the step you don't want to take.
So take that word or that phrase into your heart, and I'm just going to give you 1 minute, just 1 minute, to share it with one other person, and if you want to share anything that came up for you with that. If you prefer to keep it private, just look down, close your eyes, and we will respect your privacy. But otherwise, I encourage you now to share that word or phrase with someone else. Thank you. I know that was short, so I hope you talk more about it in Gore Hall, but please take that word or that phrase out into the world. This is an easy to replicate spiritual practice, repeated reading for deep meaning and connection to your soul. But spiritual grounding can also become complicated, especially if you seek out a guru whose way does not resonate with you. It's complicated if you create resistance to finding peace in your heart and being open to connecting with whatever you might find that is greater than yourself. It's complicated when you do a spiritual practice or sacred reading once and you expect to be spiritually grounded evermore. Yet feeling spiritually grounded can be simple when you pay attention to whatever brings you peace. It's simple if you bring regularity to your practices every day if you can. It's simple if you bring an intention to your practice. Perhaps in these days you bring hope to your practice. And it doesn't matter if it's journaling, walking, reading, meditating, doing Tai Chi, making music, knitting, baking, even being on a committee. You can bring hope. Oh, and one more thing, you can also bring hope to your pledge for both your time, your treasure to your community. Just a little plug from the treasurer's wife. So how would having more inner peace change your life? How would it be to go into challenges being more hopeful? What will be your first small step from head to heart to explore inner peace and heartfelt hope? So please rise in body or spirit and join us in singing our closing hymn, 391, Voice Still and Small. As we come to the close of our service, I offer you these words from Wendell Berry to help us find hope. The peace of things. When despair for the world grows in me and I wake in the night at the least sound, in fear of what my life and my children's lives may be, I go and lie down where the wood drake rests in his beauty on the water, and where the great heron feeds. I come into the peace of wild things who do not tax their lives with forethought of grief. I come into the presence of still water, and I feel above me the day-blind stars waiting with their light. For a time, I rest in the grace of the world and am free. Beloveds, worship has ended, and now the service truly begins. And our call to action is, of course, to take that first small step, but also to pledge generously to our hope-filled 1U community by the end of the month. Thank you.
Please say these words with me as we extinguish the chalice. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry into the world until we are together again.